we are finally tackling the kitchen shelf project. So to give you an idea of the kitchen layout, which we totally changed up when we renovated this house, we've got the range over here, we have this wall of windows which brings in an abundance of natural light. And then this wall is where we have a lot of our storage. We put power behind this cabinet to hide the microwave. And this is where the shelves are gonna go. So we debated if we should go with 1 or 2. Ultimately, we decided to go with 2 to maximize storage and just add more character to the space. The shelves are gonna be made out of oak, which will tie in with our beautiful Du Chateau oak floors, which just brings so much natural warmth to the space. So stay tuned, we're gonna share a little bit about the process, and I think it's really gonna transform this kitchen and just add that last bit of character that it needs.
So we are taping out the height of the shelves. That little blue mark is supposed to represent one of the shelves, and the other one, believe it or not, is the other shelf.
So what I wanna do is I wanna make sure they're not too close together so that it doesn't feel cluttery, but I also don't wanna hang the top one too high, which would make the ceiling feel shorter. So this is 13 inches between the two, which I think might be our sweet spot, but we'll tape it out and see how it looks.
Count me in. Oh, sorry. These are the right kinds.
What?
Do you like it better with the hat?
Your hat? You think that makes you look more like a contractor?
I feel like I look more like, yeah, like a Chip Gaines kind of thing.
You look just like Chip, honey.
He wears it backwards though.
There you go, perfect.
Now, so these are the rods which we got for the shelf, and they will serve as the support. We'll attach them to the studs here. We have a stud finder. And
wouldn't I be the stud finder?
you would be the stud finder.
I found you.
Embarrassing. And then we'll put them out here like so, and we're going to actually build the box around them.
Yeah. So the first thing that we are doing is marking the studs. So we have this fancy electronic stud finder, and I was excited to show my dad this cool gadget we had, and it didn't work. So we're using the old-fashioned one, and we've marked 2 studs here. We can't anchor a piece in the middle because there is actually a medicine cabinet in the bathroom behind this, so the studs do not run into the middle here, so we're gonna have to anchor it on these other sides. So next what we are doing is marking where these rods are gonna go, and then we are cutting out the drywall in those spots because we don't want this back plate to be showing. So here you can see why we're doing that.
Actually, we were going to do it this way, weren't we?
So we're putting these little pieces on either side of the shelves, and that's just going to give it a little bit of stability, and we'll be able to nail the shelf into the top of this piece so that the shelf won't move forward on its own. So we decided to go with aspen. They don't have white oak, which is not a surprise, and looking at the red oak and taking into account my dad's advice, it would be just too pink. So this aspen is a lot cleaner and it should take stain a lot better.
Look at that sanding. Perfection.
So we just cut one piece. Let's see if it fits.
You might have to edit it if it doesn't.
That's true. Let's see. Ooh, looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's good.
So we screw in these rods into the studs. So you can see we've got one board here. We'll put one underneath and a piece of wood on top. So here is what the shelf looks like put together. So we'll just slide it onto those brackets like this. It looks so good. We just got it on. It took a little bit of elbow grease, not mine.
It was a little, a little more than a little.
Oh, it looks great. Feels sturdy. I love it.
One down, one to go, baby. So just as we were about to put the second shelf up, Hannah said, "Stop the press."
I decided I really like just one shelf.
What?
He was holding it up there and it just felt too heavy. And then I threw up this bowl in this frame up here just to see how it would feel. And I feel like this is much more proportional to the space and it's more minimal, which really is true to Ty and I's kind of aesthetic. So we're just about done. All I have to do is varnish this, which I will do tomorrow. And it looks great. I'm so happy with it.
It gets my vote too, because if it was on the second shelf, I was going to be getting it down every single time because
Yeah, I
it'd be
couldn't
just
even
too tall
reach it there.
for hand Jan. So I love it.
So next I'm going to sand the shelf and then use a clear satin polyurethane by Minwax, and I will apply that with a 1.5 inch brush. So next I wet down a paper towel just a little bit, and I'm going to wipe down the shelf to make sure that I get off all of the sawdust. So before I start with the varnish, I'm going to tape off the top of the tile here and then around the edges of the shelf to make sure I don't stain the walls or the tile with the varnish. And then I'm going to start underneath the shelf to make sure that I like the look of it before doing the front and the top.